somebody gave me some good advice. Don't love your partner how you want to be loved. Learn your partner's love language and love them like that. I might be trying to love my girl a certain way and she doesn't respond a certain way to me. I'm just like, well, I mean, that's how I would want to be treated. She's like, I might not care for that. I want to be hugged instead of gifts. I want to be held. And ladies, man, if you do love to suck his all right? Just get his, that's his love language. That's what your guy is into like that. He really loves that. That's something you're going to have to suck up, no pun intended.
You got to suck it up. We've been talking about.
All right, welcome to the Sunday Scoop presented by the good folks at Chocolate Sundaes Comedy Show. I'm your host, Richie Rich. I'm joined by Lani, the janitor of Chocolate Sundaes, Brandon Cormel, and Keenan Baker. Welcome, Keenan.
What's up, y'all? So you really the janitor? That's what you calling yourself?
That's what
I don't believe in titles.
Where's the keys at?
Yeah,
where's the 1,000 keys?
I'm cleaning shit up. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. But how do you explain what I do?
You do everything, Lani.
Everything. Yeah, it's not producer really because there's so much more than just producing the show.
And
I'll call you the
Back-end.
Russian lieutenant. It's just all business.
Captain or something like
Yeah.
Janitor, the head janitor.
It's a humble brag.
That's what. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's like because
right.
if you go by captain, it's like
I don't want people to. Yeah.
She's full.
Like,
Yeah, she's full.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Janitor is like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
kind of put myself a little self-deprecating, but it's like I know that I'm not really that, so I got it.
Exactly. All right, well, Keenan, we have a little bio for you. So I'm gonna read it.
You gonna read it word for word?
Yeah. Most people don't. You know, they get a little uncomfortable with the bio. Do you get uncomfortable with the bios?
I get uncomfortable with compliments, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm still learning how to take. It's kind of weird.
you.
Me too.
I think you're an amazing comic.
I really like your jacket, sir.
Like, that hat is something special.
Fire. Let
Tell
me
you
see your eyes
something.
real quick.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
He must see really
They're
good.
hazel eyes.
You got 4K vision.
That one I will take.
Oh my God. All right, Keenan Baker, who we're excited to have back with us again. Last time he shared a hilarious story where we learned he had someone fake an illness just to break up with him. That was the last time you were on the podcast. Remember that?
Yeah, that's about that. I thought I talked about
did.
niggas not having daddies, so they say certain things.
Yeah. They be lying on their dick.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That clip did well, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
This is honestly.
Keenan
never
is
had a
known
father.
for giving us all of his raw and uncut stories either through social media or on stage that paints a funny but relatable picture of his life. In 2017, he released his first comedy special, I Might Need Therapy, which is on all streaming platforms. And in 2020, he was featured on as one of the comedians on the Tony Baker and Friends comedy special, which can be found on Amazon Prime. And now he's the host of the Animation Podcast and the Bonfire Stories comedy show. Welcome to the Sunday Scoop, Keenan Baker.
Oh man, what's up, y'all?
Hey.
What is up, man? Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I always get excited when Lani texts me. She be like, "Hey man, what you doing?" I'm like, "Oh man, yeah, what's up, Lani?"
Opportunity.
Yeah,
No, this is great.
she always show love, man. I appreciate it.
Were you disappointed that I asked about the podcast instead of the show?
No, I meant to ask you to do the show on my birthday. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago, and but I was nervous to ask you because last time I asked you, you were like, "Nah, you good." And I was just like, shit,
mean ass janitor.
The janitor, right?
Yeah.
No, because I think it was last year, I asked you, can I do my, can I stop doing my birthday, kind of get some birthday love on Chocolate Sundays? You was like, nah.
Jesus Christ.
No way.
You're like, nah. I was like, oh, all right, Lani, whenever you got a spot for me, I'll just let me know.
That just feels racist for some reason.
I don't
know why.
ever say no for birthday.
That just feels so racist.
That's why I was nervous to ask you. I was just like, I literally I wrote the text. It was in the bar. It was like in the message part. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, rejection, but when you get rejected from somebody you cool with,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That hurts a little bit more than like somebody that's straight to be like, we can't do this for you. We can't. I'll be like, all right, I don't give a fuck.
It's like, but I know you.
Yeah,
I am a monster. Okay, I'm gonna have to look back through the text because why I didn't just say no.
I think you can do it now. Look now. Yeah, look right now.
let's see if we
Just put on the spot.
The only thing I can think
People
of.
are kind of afraid of you. You know that. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I know, and I don't know why.
I know
do
exactly why. Yeah. What the fuck? You tell people no on their birthday.
Lani has always treated me with love and respect.
Except
That's the
for your
thing.
birthday.
Lani has never been mean to me. I didn't
for
take
your
it as
birthday.
even a mean thing. It was
Yeah,
more
yeah,
just
yeah.
like I was assuming that like I know at the time I wasn't coming to Chocolate Sundays consistently.
Regular, okay.
Yeah, and I felt like it was more like that. Like, well, like, yo, it's not right that you just want to just pop up when you want to pop up. And that's how I kind of was more like that.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. Even if it wasn't that, that's kind of how I took it. Like, all right, that makes sense. I wasn't like mad. I was just like, oh, okay. That's why I try to start coming a little bit more when I can. You know what I'm saying? But
And it was probably because it was like last minute.
It was
we probably had
minute.
like 6 comics on the.
But I think
that's
there
the
was
only
like
time I
the
would
main
say
thing,
no.
like the response you gave. That's what we're talking about.
That's what I think I would just
it's
say-
okay to say no, but you like, no, I'm
here's the
good.
thing.
No, I wouldn't just say nope.
I'm looking through our text right now, and she's just sending me pictures of black socks because she hates dudes with black socks.
I'm wearing them right now.
No, a random person because
Why would you do that to a random pedestrian?
I think you were on a Facebook post or someone said something about like pet peeves and I said I hate black socks.
Right, yes.
And he was
Yeah.
asking about it and he's like, what do you mean? And like the black dress socks with, dress shoes, that's fine. I'm talking about like black socks with white sneakers that people wear.
No, you got to match
shorts.
the soles of the shoe.
Oh my
That's the
God,
rule.
I hate black socks.
Imagine
so-
editing the whole clip and then cut off at black and then put people after that and then just cause I hate black people. Oh man! Wow. Imagine a black people.
wearing white shoes.
Yeah, get out of here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah. So I think I told you. I asked you in person. I asked you.
Oh, see, why the receipt?
It was to your face.
There's no reason for me to make that up. But like I said, it was like I said, I'm not throwing you under the bus like you were being mean. I'm literally remembering. I'm just like, yo, I wasn't coming consistently, and like only time I was like, we were even having really a conversation was
When you were getting on.
right. And I also felt bad about that. I was just like, yo, Lani's cool. Every time I show up, she shows me love. So like when I started coming out, we started talking more. We'll text about the 49ers and shit like that. So we started talking a little bit more. But I was still like, being like, oh man, I want to ask. And she goes, nah, man. Like, it wasn't even to do the show. It was really to come through and
You wanted the cupcakes.
The birthday song.
You wanted the.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I did. I did. I did.
You want to have that recognition.
Hold on. Keep going. Y'all can keep
So
going.
we
I'm
were
like,
gonna do it this year, and then he canceled.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
whoa.
He was like, you know what? I ain't got time. this time.
Yeah.
that is.
But secretly, he was hoping that you would remember last year.
Right?
Yeah.
It was
And then-
payback.
yeah.
It was revenge.
I think everybody's
He's
waiting
trying
on
to
this.
find.
thing.
No, there's no way I said no like that. If it was probably because we're completely booked or something, that would be the only thing. That
And it might have been
makes
the
sense.
assumption that I was asking to get booked. It sounded like I was asking to get booked.
Yeah.
It was like, can I come do my birthday? It's kind of like, nah, like it wasn't like I didn't specify that I wanted to come through for like the celebration of the cupcakes and the
Yeah,
the
because
whole
we
thing
would
like
have
that.
done that for
Well,
sure.
we get her saying no. It's just the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, we can still do it. It's still November. It's still Scorpio season.
We're good. We're good.
She's like, nah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah,
When's your
maybe.
birthday?
The 7th.
Of November?
Yeah, this
Oh,
month.
I thought it was in October. Oh, yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
This weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. You want to do it?
I'm down to come through.
Okay.
Look at that.
Let's do it. Look at that.
You got what you wanted, brother. Look at you.
Yeah, that's just playing the whole time. I'm about to come out with
I
this
know.
one.
I'm out of
He,
here.
he asked me in a public forum, so I can't say
is,
no.
yeah.
It's like,
She's like, you fucking embarrass me. Never again. She's going to text me like, I'll never book you.
He's about to light you at 4.
No, I'm joking, but I gotta say, like, no, but I love Lani, man. Lani is literally one of the bookers, one of the few bookers that show me love consistently. So, like, I really appreciate all you do for us young comics out here. So I
oh,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
You said 49ers. Are you from the Bay?
No, I'm from here. I'm from here, but I grew up like, Ricky Waters, Jerry Rice. Like, I grew up that old school 49ers Steve Young play. You know what I'm saying? I just loved them growing up as a kid. And then I just happened to catch them right before they won, and then they won. So
So it has
You know-
nothing to do with it being
Yeah,
Lonnie's favorite
I
team?
normally don't
at
like,
all, no. I was not a fan, but I got Niners shirts when I was a kid. Like I got pictures of it. Like, absolutely not, man.
Yes, that
I'm not one of
receipt.
those guys that's just like, so I can get book a little more.
I love the Niners. About
Not at all.
87ers, though.
No, and I normally don't like it when people that live in cities don't rep that team. But LA didn't have a football team for so long that a lot of people adopted the Niners.
Rams.
The Rams
but then,
weren't
yeah,
here.
Nobody
The
respected
Rams were like
Rams
90s.
that.
For
And then the
a little
Raiders,
bit.
The
I
Raiders
wasn't a fan
are-
of that style. But it's like, I mean, my teams are all over the place. I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan too. Like my teams they're nowhere. They're all over the place.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Most of my family's from like New York, and I'm a military brat, so I'm from here, but the majority of my family is not from here.
Oh,
So like my teams a lot of times are where my family's from because that's what they grew up watching. So that's what I just
So who's your baseball team?
it'd be the Mets.
Oh wow, yeah,
You're
you
a
are
Mets.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned your dad was in the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marine, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that conversation like when you told your Marine father that you wanted to pursue a professional career in comedy?
He was like, I don't give a fuck what you doing out here. You just make sure your ass is in school. That's what you need to do. So my dad was really big on like school is everything. My dad was really big on education because he got his high school diploma and that was really it. Went straight to the military. So he pushed me and my brother to go to college, and we got 4 college degrees, between us. He has all 4 of them, but I have no degrees. I was in school from like 2003 until I was in school from 2003 to 2011. So like I was in school college for a long time.
Oh man, you was pacing yourself.
I was a super duper senior.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Sure, yes.
It's a marathon.
Yes.
What school?
I went to
schools. Yeah.
I went to Valley College first. I went to LA Valley College.
Oh, community college lifestyle. All right.
Yeah, I went there first. And I transferred to Alabama State, HBCU. Went there for a few years. Then I came back to Cal State, Dominguez Hills.
Got
humbled. In Carson. Got humbled. And then I took some more credits at Pierce College too. It's a junior college.
But you just never finished. You did all that, and you was like, what? 7 credits short? Or?
I walked.
Why?
So I walked with the cap and gown and everything like that.
But why? Why so many schools? Why didn't you just say, you know what? No, I don't want to do this no more.
Well, when you go to a JUCO, your goal is to transfer, right? You go to junior college. So the goal was always to transfer. So I transferred to Alabama State. My brother used to go there. And then I went there, and then I realized I was getting kind of homesick. Being out there, it was just like, it was not necessarily a culture shock, but it was just like, all right, I don't really have much attached out here. So I ended up coming back. The goal was to always come back to go to CSUN. And then I think CSUN, I got in, but CSUN was overcrowded. It was just like, you can only take 4 units. So I was just like, well, Dominguez is open. It has all my units. So I'm just going to go there. So.
But why didn't you finish? You did 2 years at community, and then you did 3 in Alabama.
How did you not finish?
Yeah,
going like the 5
what were you
I have the credits to finish. I have enough credits for sure.
You just never.
But my major was business, and then it was occupational therapy, physical therapy, kinesiology. It was like 6 different majors. So I have credits in like everything.
Oh, so you just like live a lifestyle where you're just everywhere.
I was a college lifer.
He was like, I'm putting my thing in every pot.
Yeah, I was just like, man, because that's the thing in college. I didn't love anything. I liked a lot of stuff. So I was like, all right, I like business marketing. And so I would go into that, and I was just like, and I ended up coming back and like getting the majority of my credits in business marketing. So I have like that. Even though I don't have the degree, I still have that background where I feel confident in. But there was like, you have. Okay, I'll be real.
Who was you being before? I mean,
I was being honest.
He gave us the standard interview question. You rehearsed it.
I'll be real. I don't know what I'm talking about. I need this job. Okay, I need this job.
So this is what happened. I ran into a professor at Dominguez, right? She was an operational management professor, right? And so when I took the class, the first day I got there, she was like, she told the whole class, she was like, last semester I failed everyone. This semester I do again.
She's Russian?
Yes.
Okay. I hope she was.
And,
no, she's American.
Nah, she's black.
She was 4C. Yeah, dark skin 4C.
But so she said that, and so she gave us a test the first day, and 95% of us failed.
Damn.
And when we would ask her for help, she'd be like, "Are you not like doing the homework?" We're just like, "That's why I'm struggling because I don't understand. I need help." She was just like, "If you don't understand, I mean."
Dang.
So a lot of us literally put a petition together to open up another class, and they didn't do it. So I had to take that. It was a mandatory class. I had to take her to graduate. Mm-hmm. And if I don't pass, I would be taking her class for semesters on. And her class was fucking tough. Like,
yeah.
She even stated like, "Yo, nobody really passes my class the first time." She's like, it's normally like a class people come back the second time unless you're like a math whiz.
That is terrible.
When you started that petition, how many signatures were you short?
Everybody signed it. The whole class signed it. Other people that took the class previously signed it, and they were just like, well, I guess their thing was like, we didn't have a professor that had the hours to do it. That was their main thing. So it was just like, we were just screwed. And I already talked to my counselor.
The hours to teach the alternative class.
Right.
Gotcha,
so the counselor was like, well, you have enough credits to walk. If you want to, you can just walk and then come back and just finish, but you can go take the pictures.
And do the whole thing.
The diploma ain't real in your hand. Your diploma is just a piece of paper just with a little tie on it. It's not a real diploma in your hand. Yeah. So...
Dog, that was me in graduation, high school graduation. I didn't get to walk because I owed books. So I told the guy, I'm like, hey man, just say Brandon Cormel real quick. Like,
You didn't get to walk because why?
I walked, but I owed books, so I like, so like my name wasn't on the actual graduation thing. I just walked to the guy, I was like, yo, I had paper, I was like, yo, just say this name.
Wait, in high school?
Yeah, I didn't tell my mom or nothing.
What do you mean you had money? What?
Like
you owe
books, like if you didn't return the books or something like that, it's
You
like
don't get to walk?
No, they make you clear out your accounts before you graduate.
you gotta do all that
People just
stuff.
Steal everything.
You got to pay or you got to get it. You got to.
Yeah, and I owe like money. I owe like $200, but back then that was a lot of money to me.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
remember paying for books in high school.
If you lost
Was
a
that
book.
thing?
No, you didn't pay for it. If you lost,
the
like
book.
you had to return books that were given to you.
Oh, okay.
And like I wouldn't return it, so I just went up there and I wrote my name. Like, hey, just say this name. Got into my mom. My mom thought I graduated. She's like, let's go, and I'm like, just say this name. So my mom.
Wait,
don't
so
say
how did you even get to do that without a cap and gown? Because I know how ours was. You had to go if you wasn't graduating, you didn't get the chance to get a cap and gown. They gave you your cap and gown after school.
Oh, I just we
You
walked
just
up
bought a
and
random.
yeah, like you.
Everybody else wearing blue. This nigga wearing red.
They got a red cap and gown. You know, I'm special over here.
Third class. Yeah, it's honor class. Yeah. And I walked that stage like with a blank sheet of paper. Oh wow. Like everybody's like, yo, how the fuck this nigga Brandon graduated?
So you don't have a high school diploma then?
Yeah, but like I thought you would need one, but nobody's ever asked me. Like my mom would be like, "Where's your high school
Wait,
diploma
you
at?"
still don't.
So,
But yeah,
first of all,
it's-
the audacity for you to say anything about me, that's hella disrespectful. That's
But
number
at
one.
least I know what I'm doing. Like I'm not like you cut off midway. You was like, all right, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Everything I said was bullshit. I'm gonna finally be honest with y'all.
Wait, so you still don't have a high school
It's at
diploma?
the school, but I'm not gonna pay that like the book fee.
So you
and all
technically
that.
have it, but it's just like
Yeah, it's
you
like
can't.
it's they're holding it hostage. Like, yo, pay this.
Right.
And then
How
you
much
pay
is
it.
the bill?
Well, I mean, with interest now. I mean, it's been some time, but I mean,
you grew up out here?
yeah, I grew up out here. I went to Hawthorne because I moved. I used to live in West LA, but I moved like high school to Hawthorne. So yeah, like, but I thought you would need it, but you don't even need it. Like nobody's ever asked me like, yo, before we hire you, we need your papers.
They did with me. My first few jobs that I had,
What was your first job?
movie theater was incredible. Winnetka movie theater in the Valley, not too far from here actually. It's like down the street from here. And I ended up working at concession stands first, and then I moved up to the projection booth. It was the greatest job I've ever had in my life. Still to this day, besides comedy, that is the best job I've ever had. All you used to just thread the movies, which took me because I was a beast. So I would thread these movies in like 3 minutes. I would just thread it in 3 minutes, and I can sit down and have like a 2-hour break.
What does threading mean? Yeah.
So I don't know about
like film, right?
Yeah, so I don't know about now if it's digital now at the movie theaters, but when I was coming up, it was film. You still they gave you like a bunch of reels, and we had to build the film. So they give you 1 through 6 reels, and then I had to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 together. So you got to like spin them on something, you clip them together, paste, like you get some tape, you snap it together, put the next one on, reel it on, all that stuff like that. It's like it's a process.
Wow.
Hey, so
I've
when-
never
so when you
heard
do that,
before.
Yeah,
like
it's dope.
so like. Do they test it before you even show the real
We
movie?
have to test it.
Oh, because I
So we
wonder like,
have
what
to
would
test
happen
it.
if it just cut off in the middle? I never had a movie cut off.
So we had to test it. So like when you used to watch movie theaters back in the day, if you ever used to see like a cigarette burn on like the top corner, like for like a split second.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever used to see that.
Yeah, I
like
see
a
that.
little circle. On
Yeah,
the
a
top.
little circle thing.
If you see a little circle, that means the reel was changing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what happened? I would just tell you a quick story with that. The master, pretty much the guy that was like the best like projectionist at our job. His last week there, this motherfucker was going around and undoing some of the movies and putting different reels in different movies.
Hilarious.
So like if it was Agent Cody Banks, he'll put like another like an animated movie as the third reel. So you wouldn't know until the middle of the movie.
How bad did they treat this man? Like, for him to be like, you about to fuck everybody.
He did it on some just like, like what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Because when the movie's playing like that, I gotta eat that. I gotta like literally let that reel play out. I gotta find the beginning of it, cut that, let it play for that reel to end, cut that, and then I can try to cut it out right there. Which I mean I was skilled enough to do it, but it took like time.
Wow.
It took time to do. So he did that.
So you was doing that while the movie was playing for the people. You was changing shit.
The movie had to stop.
Oh,
So they had to sit there, if you ever seen I don't know if you ever seen like a movie feeling like it was catching on fire if you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
That means it got a brain wrap. That means the movie started to pull the frames out.
I've never
and
seen
it looks
that.
like it's catching on fire, but it's not. It's like it's a crazy thing, yeah.
I've never heard this before. I didn't know
And
that.
then if you ever had sex in the movie theater,
What made you get into this?
I said, yes.
I mean, I was working in concession at first. Just a concession stand working, like popcorn and shit. And then it was like, you want an opportunity to move up? I was like, hell yeah. And somebody was like, yeah, you get like 2-hour breaks if you thread your movies fast enough. You can go up there, and I was play my Game Boy Advance, and I pop into like Bad Boys 2. I'm like, oh, I want to watch Bad Boys 2 real quick and watch that part. Sit back down. You have access to all the movies. They're like right in your booth. And that same guy, he used to, if you had sex in a movie theater, let me tell you something. You've been watched. You've been caught. You probably been recorded too.
Really?
Yeah, this dude he had night vision goggles and everything like that.
Ooh.
That same dude.
He was a menace.
He's a little different. That was professional.
He used to literally be like, yo, potential theater 13. And I walk over there and I'll check. And then I'm like, oh shit. And then be like, what people would do is they'll buy a ticket to a movie that nobody's going to be in on a Wednesday at like 7 p.m. Which is smart.
You got a story, Brandon?
Yeah, you did.
I did that. Like, me and this girl, we was like, yo, let's go to the movie like at 11 a.m., right? It's a school day.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, let's sit in the back because she wanted to give me like head and stuff.
Yep.
So I just go there. This lady comes in with her 3 kids, walks all the way up to the back row and sits right next to us. I'm like, what the fuck are these kids doing watching this movie?
She wild for that. She's terrible for that.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, I didn't do nothing with the girl, but it was just like, fuck, like that was our moment to shine.
We done seen literally like pretty much porn shit happen in movie theaters. And then what he would do was he would be sitting there watching, let you get your little rocks off for like 5 minutes, and then he'll hit the house lights on you.
Damn.
Yeah.
My gosh,
Why would he let you?
Yeah, he's a monster. So I don't know who's ever had sex in a movie theater besides you and I
never did it. I would have got pressed. I would have went to jail.
What was crazy was I was dating a girl at the time there, and we used to mess around in the theater. And then when I got up there, I was like, "Oh, what the fuck y'all be doing?" Like,
Behind the scenes.
Yesterday was just like, "Yo, Keenan and so was
Yeah.
we know what y'all was doing early
Keenan.
on." Hey, what up, man?
Keenan, don't
Keenan.
shake my hand. Sticky hand about it.
Yeah, good times,
creepy.
man. Yeah, it is. It's very creepy.
Career. So comedy is a competitive sport where typically the most confident rise to the top. So looking at the other side of the coin, what is an insecurity of yours that you think holds you back the most?
Self-doubt, man. Like it's getting better now, but like, I don't know, what is that imposter syndrome type thing? Like feeling like you should be here or not. Sometimes I had that moment where I'm just like, is it worth me being here? Or is it like, am I good enough to even be at this level right now? And sometimes I had those moments where I kind of sit back and be like, man, I don't know if I have it. I'm a lot better at it now, but man, for like, especially my first 7-8 years, I was just like, shit, it's not. I was afraid I had to go back to Home Depot. That's where I worked at for a while. I was just like, man, I worked there for 9 years. I was like, man, and I quit Home Depot. I was like, man, if I have to go back to do this shit, like, my life is over. Like, and I had that fear. My brother used to kind of make fun of me. He was like, "You're gonna be at Home Depot for life, motherfucker. That's your career." And I was just like, "Damn." He got all the degrees, so I was like, "You might be right." You know what I'm saying?
Your brother sounds like an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely an asshole.
I mean, 4 degrees, you got to be one.
I mean, you got to be an asshole to get 4 degrees for sure.
Yeah, you got to be selfish.
There's no nice person with 4 college degrees, right? At all. They're
leading with that.
Yeah, they're cocky. Like my brother's a doctor technically. He's Dr.
sheesh.
Baker. Even though he's an engineer, like he got a doctorate degree. So he's just like, yeah, call me. He'd be like, yo, call me Dr. Baker. I'm like, nigga, I'm not calling you Dr. Baker.
Call your middle name.
So I mean, early on, like now it's different. Like our relationship is different now with that. Like he's seen me make strides, so it's different. But like early on, that was like a doubt in my head. It's just being like, damn, man, like you don't know how to make it in this. You're just doing comedy at first. We're not looking at the business side of this shit. We're not looking at it like I got to go book something, get a fan base, and make money off this shit. You're just like, I just want to be funny. And we start to realize that that's not necessarily what you need to make it, to be honest. It's crazy, but...
What would you say you need to make it? Just from your experience from the beginning to now.
Networking is huge. I think networking is one of the biggest things for sure, is who you know. I think the funny has to be there somewhat, but I mean, there's a lot of mediocre comics that are high up right now. There's a lot of them.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you're a booker, you see, you're like, oh, God. And then you be like, motherfuckers on TV shows? This is crazy. Yeah. So it's that's what happens too. When you start to realize, like, it's not necessarily about talent. You go like, all right, I was going off talent to win this shit, to make it. And it's like, it's not even about that. So if you're not a people person, that can kind of even hinder you. It sucks.
Yeah, so talent now I feel like is not necessarily just funny. It's like, it's a business. It's your social media.
100%.
That's what the talent is. So
Yeah, no, I mean, that was an adjustment for us. I came up right when that social media and like internet comedy and stand-up comedy was having that battle. You know, when that people were like, man, we don't fuck with internet comics. You know what I'm saying? You're not a real stand-up comedian. I literally came up in that.
Callie Scott calls them social medians.
So, that's a good.
I know.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah, social media is really, and I mean, I mean, now it's like at the time I didn't understand it, so I didn't respect it. Now I respect it. It's like what they're doing is difficult. It's not that it's not hard. Now what we do is probably more difficult, but you can't shit on what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I do think it's, you know, the clubs care about asses and seats. So when we go, man, but they can't even do 20 minutes. It's just like the club doesn't care about 20 minutes. The club cares about, is it full? You know, when you're going out and you're doing, you know, over 1,000 seats for the weekend, the club's like, well, if he bombs, he bombs. And we just made $150,000. Yeah, they made $150,000 off the drinks and shit, off the drinks and food. So they don't care what you do at that point. Come back again next year. We'll book you again if you can sell out.
Yeah.
So when did you start? Because I feel like, so your good friends are like Tony Baker. Who's your Keon? Who are your comedian friends? Like,
yeah, those are like my brothers. Is like it would be Keon, DC, Brandon Lewis, Chaz Rogers, and Tony Baker. Those are like that, like my bros. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like they started social media. Like Tony obviously has like really blown up, and I feel like you just recently started. Like were you always posting? I don't know. I just feel like I see you so much more now, like creating content.
I started. I was posting for years. I have skits on YouTube from like 13 years ago. I've been posting. It's just that nothing was catching, and I wasn't consistent. So like, you know, the few times that Tony would pick up the phone, because you know Tony, he's not a phone call guy, or he'll text me. He'll be like, "Yo, ass need to be consistent." He was really big on consistency. That's why, you know, that's one of the reasons why he did make it. Like, besides having a captivating voice, you know, he always just put shit out. He was very, very consistent. The rest of our crew wasn't as consistent as Tony at all when it came to social media. So I think you might start seeing me now because I'm just in your algorithm, and I'm posting daily now. I'm posting every single day, at least once a day. Before I was posting like we talked about like off camera, like 3 or 4 times a week. So maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't.
That's not enough.
For me, it's not enough. I don't think it's enough right now because it's just too much content right now online. So, Tony was a motivating factor for that. He would be like, yo, you need to get your ass and stay consistent on there. And it's like, and I watched him blow. I literally watched him have like no fans to like the millions of fans that he has now. I literally seen all that growth.
Yeah.
So I know it's real.
He had like 9,000 followers. I was following him.
Yeah.
And it just started jumping crazy.
Yeah, you start to see it.
Consistency is everything. That's what I tell Rich too. That's literally when we changed too, when Chocolate Sundaes changed.
I think that's it's not even about, like you said, it's not necessarily about how good you are. If you're consistent, there's a fan base for everything. So even if somebody goes, your sketches are stupid, it's like somebody might be like, I love that silly shit. You know what I'm saying? And then even if your fan base isn't as big, if you get 100,000 like of a cult like following that loves everything you do, that's better than that fake million that you have anyways, that are just there for the time being. You know, that's how I always looked at it. So
that makes me think of, did you have a chance to watch Deion's special yet?
Deion Cole?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the one joke that he has in there where he's like, you know, I haven't really made it yet because I still got a flyer guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my favorite joke on that.
You know, and it's just like that's what that comment actually makes me think about is like even someone like a Deion Cole who has multiple Netflix specials, he still has to be on social media promoting, you know, to his audiences, to his market. That's real.
And we don't feel like we have to do that, right? Like when you're trying to push something, you want to be able to just post a show. Like I love that there's bigger comedians like a Bill Burr. If he posts, you know, I have a tour coming up, it's sold out probably within hours. And it's like that's what we want, but it's just like I hate feeling like I'm like being like having to hit people in the. I hate like for my show this past weekend, Bonfire Stories. I hit Lani on the side like, hey Lani, could you come through? And I hate that feeling. Because it's back again, it's that rejection. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't come through. And it's just like, I mean, rejection, I mean, it hurts.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. That's
I didn't say
Lani's
you said,
the
I wouldn't
devil.
say you said, no. I wouldn't say you said
record,
A menace
because
to
I was going to
society.
another comedy
No.
show already for.
First of all,
you know,
I wasn't putting it on Lani.
Did you say that?
Was this
I
the
was
one this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that Lani said no. I'm saying when you, in general, when you posted to people, I sent it to
I
like.
was the example.
No, because I mean,
like,
Lani's right here.
Lani, no offense.
Lani, like, this motherfucker hates me. I love Lani. But like, here's the thing, because Lani has always told me that she wants to support that show, and it kept coming up on Sundays. So it's like, that's why, you know, I mean, I did hear her immediately, but I hit hella people. And it's like a lot of people said no. And it's like, it's scary to not fill a room when you're paying for the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you got to fill this room and at least either try to like break even or at least for the comedians, mainly for me, for the comedians to have a crowd to speak to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like I hate having to promote consistently like that, but it's like back to Tony. Nobody promotes their show that I've seen more than Tony. But that's the reason why when I go on the road with him, he's fucking selling out too. Mm-hmm. You know,
Kev on stage is pretty close. He promotes the hell out of his shows.
Kev on stage, and he's coming with like a unique way now how to do his promotion. Because I think that's what we're trying to do is like when you put a flyer out, YouTube, especially IG, they go, "Oh, you trying to promote some shit? It's not gonna reach nobody."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You get 3 likes, and it's like I have 25,000 followers. Why just getting 3 likes? So. You know, it's one of those uncomfortable feelings, but you have to be consistent again. Like you said, you have to be consistent and do it.
That's how I felt too, because I want to start a show, but I'm just terrified nobody. It's gonna be me and just a random old person who.
I'll go, Brandon.
This even worse. Me, a random old person and rich.
I probably won't.
Yeah, I know that you won't.
Invite me and I'll say no.
Now I'm good. Now I'm good.
But I also wanted to ask, on that tip, it's like, how do you consistently get people coming to Chocolate Sundaes? I know Chocolate Sundaes is a great show in general.
Lani works her ass off.
But I want to, like, do you have any promotional tips for comedians? Because that is, to me, that is the biggest struggle for the majority of us.
Mm-hmm. No, it's hard. We were talking about that with Lewis, too, because Lewis does a show and he does really well. And I'm like, that's not a natural thing for comedians to be able to do. Just regular people in general.
Yep.
You have to be creative and be funny, and then also like the administrative side of business and selling tickets, and that's really, really hard. How we sell out, we have to be consistent. We do market. That's why people always ask me, it really irritates me when people are like, "Oh, what do you do besides Chocolate Sundaes?" Like, I'm just there on Sundays.
That's
just
what I thought when I
hanging
first
out,
started.
watching comedy.
Like,
just cutting comedians
Yes,
off.
they
thought you come out the back on Sunday.
think that, I just sit there and hit the light and time comics. Like, do you see this room? We got 600 people every week. Like, that takes a lot of work to consistently promote. But we do, just our clips, like all our social media. We run ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, like everything. Email is really big. Getting contact info. And that's what Pookey taught me in the very beginning is emails, because those social networks, like you said, Instagram controls your algorithm. Yeah. An email goes straight to the person. A text message goes straight to them. So collecting info is very important.
Louis C.K., I don't know if you guys are on his listserv, but for his specials, that's what he does now. He doesn't even post it. He just will literally email you his special, and he'll be like, "Hey, drop something. If you want to buy it, it's $10."
Yeah.
So he gives you the special for free, and it's whatever is paid.
No, he'll include a link to the special,
okay.
Because like I signed up for that listserv, right? And then the special will be there, and then you click it. It'll take you to his website where the video is embedded into his website.
Gotcha.
So it's not on YouTube, it's not on Netflix, it's on
his site,
and you can stream it or watch whatever from there. And he charges you $10 for like access code. But that, I think, to the power of like emails versus
the money is in the emails.
And I think that's really big for us. I think some people might think emails are old school. That's what I thought at first. I was like, man, that's old school shit. And then I keep hearing that's the consistent thing. And it's like, and when I see, like I said, I see Chocolate Sundaes. That's a beautiful room. It's literally like the hottest show in the city. Easily. And it's like, that's a credit to you, number one, and keeping that show hot. You know what I'm saying? You say,
and there goes that host job.
To keep it consistent, that's a big credit to her. But like,
to keep the room full, yes. Yeah. The vibe of the show is so much on the host.
Oh, for sure.
DJ.
No, I was joking.
But,
Lani does. She's
all the hosts, Takara, Ranji, Keon, everybody that hosted, like, it's like,
Jordan Connolly,
Jordan Connolly, like all the hosts that come down there, Brandon. Like. Yeah, Brandon's like hosting. I've hosted once. Lani had me host before.
Yeah, Keenan hosted.
Like, it is a vibe on that. So it's like it's all that, but it's like it does start with putting the asses in seats, and that's really
the foundation
big.
is what sets it.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about putting a white comic as the host of First Impressions one time?
No, we
can't do it.
We can't.
I feel like it's gonna be a riot.
That's going to. We already don't have enough spaces to perform here consistently.
Yeah,
you give them that space. It's just like, bro, they already have enough.
Yeah, they have every night.
All jokes aside, for real.
Yeah, and 1 week, I always try to book like one other, Asian, white, whatever. But 1 week it just worked out where people canceled. But whatever happened, there were 3 white comics on the show.
Oh my God.
Back to back. Ron would not let me live that down. Oh my God. And then a lot of our staff, from Allie to Jesse to Matt, Joel, the editing team, the videographers, photographers, they're white, and it's like I always try to hire black. I don't even know if I can say that. Will I get sued for saying that? I try to hire black. I don't know, but
affirmative
it's
action.
like, I mean, it's who shows up and who's good. You know, like I got to pick the best
and
candidate.
available,
yeah,
and available and consistent. Like that's very real. I always
like
wondered about
your
that.
first time. Like I couldn't even get you to have a camera.
Uh-oh.
A battery pack charged. You know?
It almost ended. This podcast would not exist if Lani didn't take a second chance on me. Let me say that first.
Wow.
How'd y'all even meet?
Lonnie took a chance on me. So like I would come to the show all the time, and I let her know, like I was like, hey, I do videography, right? I just threw it out there, and then she hit me back, like she was like, hey, come and would you be down to shoot one of these days? And it hit me kind of like last minute, and I was like, yeah, I can do it because I wanted to show up, show I could do it, and I brought my camera bag. But the batteries to my camera weren't charged because I had an event the day before. So I showed up and I put the batteries in.
Must be an error.
Cameras are not turning on, nothing. So I'm freaking out. The show's starting, and then there's no outlets. I don't know if you noticed in the Laugh Factory, there are no fucking outlets anywhere.
I think there's one on stage.
That's it. A long ass extension cord.
No, I'm fucking panicking. I'm like, fuck, okay, let me charge this. Right? So then finally one of the batteries charges up like right enough for me to record. And as soon as the show starts, it dies on me like immediately. And then you just see Lani like sitting in the corner just like looking at me like... I'm just
because what's happening is, so you know where the camera guy sits in the back section, he's in the middle right there by a pillar. So you have to like walk through people to get there. So the camera guy usually the whole show just sits there. He doesn't move.
He's like a pillar.
He was going back and forth like charging cameras and
You're too
switching
tall to be
them
doing
out.
that.
Wow.
Just doing laps through the, oh my
Sweating
God.
bullets also.
like,
and like it's a comedy show, so like people are laughing and shit. And my energy, I have like big energy. So it's like you can feel my stress when I walk past you. I'm breathing hard. It was bad. And luckily, thank God, Lani was like, it's okay. Like, you could come back another time.
Charge your fucking batteries.
I understand things happen. Yes.
But it
Oh
was
my
just
gosh. And it's so
bad.
funny now because Rich is such a perfectionist and how he works now.
It was
to
so
see him back
imperfect.
then.
It was so imperfect that night. It was flawed.
No, I tried to tell her, I was like, this is not a representation of who I am and what I'm
promise you.
about. Like, I promise. She was like,
this is not a representation.
okay.
First game of the season, dropped 2 points, man.
Just towering over her.
All bad, bro. It was all bad. But yeah, thank
But
you.
anyway, but yes, it just, there's a lot that goes into that show, even from hiring, budgeting, but booking comics, that alone is a thing. Nichelle, I had lunch with her, Nichelle that does
Shout
Crack
out to
'em
Michelle
Up.
Murdoch, yeah.
She said it perfectly because we were talking about booking and she's like, people think that you just like throw people, whatever next available. And she's like, no, we're booking a vibe. And I'm like, yes,
facts.
that is. I never thought of it like that, but it is. You have to mix it up. I really like to mix up completely different comics too. Like one that's more of a writer, just like that
that makes
stands
sense.
still,
Yeah.
that's quiet, and then like a really wild, crazy one. And so, yeah, anyway, I try to throw like one non-black comedian, but yes, we are going to mostly book black.
They don't necessarily need it, but all right.
The non.
They don't need the
So
opportunity.
you book
Well, if
So
you're
you
talking
think-
about like Latino, Asian, that's different, But yeah.
minority.
white person.
Yeah, white
so you
white
think,
comic, I'm just like,
so you think Chocolate Sundaes should not book any white comedians ever?
It's
that
not
what
it's
you're
not about
saying?
not booking any white comedians.
Are you
but
racist against white people, Keenan?
racist? I can't be. But it's not about that. I think it's just like there's so many of us out here that are good. And I do think for this particular show, since we only get one night, because literally when you go to some clubs, and I won't necessarily name them, but like some clubs, I went to a club before, and they were like, hey, come back. I almost said something, but it's like they're like, come back the other day, come back to Black Night,
Come back to
the other day.
Said it.
yeah, just say come back Sunday, and I was just like, what? And it was just like, yeah, I was coming to watch like my friends on this show, and he was just like, yeah, come back Sunday.
It's 1956.
And I'm just like,
Wait, they told you that you can't come watch?
come watch.
Yeah, like
Oh, I thought you were talking about trying to get up on
No.
stage.
I understand that game. I was already like at the time 8 years in.
Yeah.
So I know that game. You're just not going to just get up on the show. I know that. But yeah, that's happened to. I've seen that happen to multiple comics. It's happened to me multiple times at certain shows. Like, oh, this is not Black Night. So like,
I went there
you can't
one
just
night.
come hang out and chill.
I went there
Oh, I
Thursday
didn't
night one
know
time. I think I went there
that.
Thursday night, and they tried to like. It was like if you don't pay, you can't come in. And I was like,
I thought comics had a pass at all the comedy
like,
clubs.
like,
I thought that was the
like
rule.
before, they would tell me like, yo, you gotta pay, and I'm like, I'm not paying to watch this mediocre comedy.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've never heard this.
100.
So the other shows do not allow
I mean,
comedians to
like
just
they allow
come.
me now, but it was a moment where like they wouldn't allow me in there unless I paid. And I'm like, I'm not about to.
Maybe because management's changing a little bit, or like the book is changing a little bit. But like I said, I was about 7-8 years in, and that happened to me. And I was already like, people knew who I was. I wasn't a big comedian, but it's just like people knew who I was. And one time, literally, somebody hit me with the hand on the chest, like, "Hey, bro, like, no, this ain't happening." To me, the Comedy Store was one of the few places that like was consistent of like letting us chill and hang out. But like a lot of the other clubs, it wasn't necessarily friendly.
Because comedians, I swear, they're so disrespected in the entertainment industry. I feel like, and I don't know why, and that is how it is. Like they're not treated the same. They're not treated as a priority, or what am I trying to say?
Which is ironic because there's no comedy club without a comedian.
That's what I'm saying. I've always said, like, I appreciate comics. Like, I never think of it as like I'm doing them a favor booking them. I feel like it's the opposite. Like they're coming to our show because you don't make a whole bunch of money performing in Hollywood.
Right.
Yes, you get the attention and you get to get your name out there. But no, I never looked at it like that. And I think a lot of clubs do.
Even like at Chocolate Sundaes, like it was a certain doorman. Like he was disrespectful. Like every time I saw him, he didn't know me right. One time I walked past him because I just walked past people like because people know me there.
Comedian, yeah.
He just stopped me. He's like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "I'm a comedian." He's like, "How do I know that?" I'm coming. He's like, he's like, yeah,
Tell
like
me something funny.
Brandon whips out his best knock-knocks.
Oh yeah, I'm over here like, yeah, so
Shit, I've had that same thing happen to me at the same club.
He's like, yeah, you walking past me like that ain't gonna happen, buddy. I'm like, dog, I would smack you, man. I know Lani, like, don't be like.
Well, his approach was totally wrong, but what he did is correct because a lot of people do try to say that, especially at Chocolate Sundaes now. They'll say
But
they're
I've
a comic.
seen him. Like he would not remember me multiple times. I would see him one week. He's like, "Who are you?" I'm Brandon. He's like, "Nice to meet you." The next week, "Who are you?" Nigga.
Yeah.
Like it's me.
You get three of those.
I'm
You get
tall.
three
And
of those.
I have a beard. Like I'm one of the few tall comedians out here. Like, you should know.
Yeah.
Who the hell I am? Remember, I think you said something about that too, Rich. Like you had a camera. He was like, "Who are you?" Like, nigga, I work here.
Yeah.
Like, you had a Chocolate Sundaes hoodie on with a camera. He was like,
On the phone with Lani.
he was like, wait a second. That's all it is.
So back to what you're saying is like, we don't get a lot anyways. So like the one thing we do kind of want to accept is being able to get into the club for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when that gets even stopped to a whole, it's just like, yo, what do we have? You know what I'm saying? Because you never know who's the next person. You know what I'm saying? You never know if you're disrespecting the comedian that's going to be a superstar in the next year or two. But some of these clubs, they don't care until you're that. And all of a sudden, they're like that, like it never happened. Oh, buddy, come on. Let's talk, buddy. Hey, come do it. You want to just go up right now? I'm just like, man.
See, though, that part is, as a booker, that is hard. And I think about that a lot when people try to get on. And I have to say no so much because we have very few spots. Comedians don't realize I book 4, sometimes 5, which is too many already. Out of 52 weeks, that's, 250 people if the same person only performs one time. So there's not a lot of spots. So I'm always like, God, someone's going to blow up and then they're never going to come here when I ask
I think
them.
it's the way you say it though. Like if some people just did disrespectful with it. And it's like, and then when you become something, it's like, hey man, like what's up? Come and do the show. And it's just like you disrespected the hell.
Disrespect to on my dick.
I always
I
love
think
you.
you
I
just
love
got to
you back
stay in the middle.
day.
It's just like don't do that and then treat me like I'm just like a dope guy because I got something going for myself now. That's like so rude to me.
Yeah, and I wasn't even saying from a booking perspective. I kind of get the booking perspective in the sense where it's just like, can you book me? And I understand like especially if I'm not on your radar, that's different. I'm speaking from like really from like just coming into your club perspective, like walking into your club, just being like, hey, I'm just coming to watch the show and getting different perspective of just trying to do that. That's my issue. Like I understand, like I Chocolate Sundaes. I remember when I first applied for it years ago. It was just like it was like a 4-year wait or something like that. And I was like, all right, and then I started to get to know people, so it's who you know, and then I got up quicker, and then like I said, Lani showed me love out there. She's like, yo, you're funny, like I want to have you back. Yeah. So it's just like you got to earn your respect when you do get the opportunity, but like, we're still disrespected out here just from even walking into some of these clubs.
Yeah. Where's your favorite city to perform? So outside of LA, performing in LA, where do you love to perform?
Man, as of right now, can I just say a state?
Yeah, go for it.
Texas, man.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Texas,
Why?
man. Their energy is just different. It's just, they want to have a good time. Right now, I feel like the South in general has showed me a lot of love when I go on stage. So like I've done Dallas, I've done Austin, I've done Houston. We just did Houston a few weeks ago, like a month ago. And damn it, Houston was just like, I was riding that high for a second. I was just like, man, that energy felt incredible in Houston. So I mean, yeah, LA is cool because I'm from here, so I like the energy of LA. But a lot of comedians don't like performing in LA because it is very showcasey, which is
you got
People
the agents,
don't.
managers.
I mean, Chocolate Sundays people laugh, but you won't really see standing ovations at Chocolate Sundays when they're very much deserved. Like any other city, you would get one.
Yeah.
LA, it takes a lot for people to stand up.
Yeah.
Because everyone's so cool in LA. Half the audience are like TikTok stars and actors.
Exactly. They're like, well, I could probably do this, or like I've done comedy 4 years ago, and now I'm into acting. That's all it is. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I say Texas is great. I would say North Carolina too. I did Raleigh. Raleigh was incredible also. So those are like my two favorite places to kind of go to. Yeah.
I think I remember seeing a clip. Not sure if it was in Texas or not, but like it was a white lady that was sitting in the front. She tried to tell you that your joke, like she had heard the joke before or something like that. That was Houston?
It was Houston.
Oh, I remember that clip. Yeah.
What happened?
Because I did Austin with Tony the previous year. So if I know when we hit the same spots, if he's giving me the opportunity to even do the same city again, I make sure I try to go with a new feature set. So we did Austin, and the majority of my jokes were different from the city that particular show because we did it last year. And she just heard me say my wife. I was like, yo, something about my wife. And she's just like, I've heard this before. I was like, what? She's like, I was like, I'm not doing the same wife stuff I did in Austin. I know I'm not. I know what the set is. And so I ended up doing a whole different joke, of course. And I was just like, see, bitch, like it's not the same joke. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, I called her, a white woman. And then she's like, actually, I'm Latina. And I was just like, well, you're acting like a white woman right now. So you got to just take it at that point. But it's just like, yeah, it's like, also too, some people, it's hard to come up with a brand new set, a good one anyways. Most people, I think, will at least when they're touring for at least a year or so with that same set, and then the next year they change it or something like that. So that's all I was doing. It was just like it wasn't even the same joke. She just happened to come to the Austin show and then come to the Houston show, and it was still different material. But she just heard my wife, and she was just like, she wasn't having it for some reason.
And yelled out loud in the middle of
Yeah,
the show,
in the middle of the show.
obnoxiously.
Yeah, at that point I wasn't angry. I was just like, all right, now I got to make an example out of you. That was my thing. It was just like, all right. Yeah, I was
Finish her.
I'm getting
that was my mentality. Yeah.
How did you meet your other half?
I actually met her through a friend. The friend came to a show, saw us at a show we did at Flappers, and then she's like, I think you'd be cool for my homegirl. I think you guys will kind of match. And then so
wow.
she linked us, and then, first day we went on, we talked for like 6 hours. Like on the beach. We just talked for 6 hours on the beach.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I was just like, I think we both knew at this particular point, this person was somebody special. And then I proposed last year around the same time, and actually in December in Hawaii. And damn, that.
How long y'all together before you proposed?
4.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so when I proposed to her afterwards, I was just telling people I was married because I was just like, I didn't care for the fiance name. I didn't care, but like, this is my fiance. Like that shit was, I don't want the confusion of like what's happening. Like, yo, this is my wife. She's technically in my mind been my wife since we moved in together. That's how I always viewed her, as my wife. I would tell people she was my wife even before that. So even the proposal story didn't go as planned. Like we went to Hawaii. We had like a glass bottom boat trip planned, and I was gonna propose on that. And then Hawaii, for some reason, had one of the worst storms it had in years. It just rained, flooded. So I ended up proposing. In our room in my drawers.
Oh,
did I have drawers on?
Classic.
I might have been bottomless. We just finished watching Kevin Hart's True Story.
Oh, that's awkward.
And
What, nigga, right after that? Yeah, that's time to take it off.
You know what I'm saying? And so I had the ring already, and I was just like, I ain't gonna have another opportunity because it's like we leave the next day, and it was just like fuck. It's like it just kept raining too bad, and the restaurant lied to us about a COVID thing, so I couldn't do it at the restaurant that I wanted to do it in. So I just, she's on the bed kind of chilling. I said she was kind of sad, and then I kind of like got on one knee on that cold ass floor because I proposed to her there, and then she cried. I cried a thug tear. You know what I'm saying? And then we technically got married on the 2nd, right before my birthday.
Oh, okay. Wow.
This year on the 2nd. So that's technically we went to the courthouse, Beverly Hills courthouse, did all the stuff there, and had like a small little.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. So it felt different too. It felt like
you got married at the courthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Those last the longest, I heard. In the
courthouse?
Yeah, I feel like when you make that walk down the hallway.
Well, the marriages that last the longest is the ones that don't pay thousands of dollars for weddings.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my thing. I'm just like, look, man, that's gonna cause a rift. If I pay $20,000 for a wedding, why would I do that for? Let's just do something for a couple hundred.
I have the perfect question for you.
That's
Keenan.
Oh my gosh.
So, wedding rings. Did you buy your wife a real diamond, or would you consider buying her a lab-grown diamond?
Lab-grown? I never knew about that.
A lot of people don't know about lab grown, and you say it. Lab grown is still real,
but
technically.
So a lab-grown diamond,
It's cheaper, right?
it's cheaper. So a regular,
Not by much.
it's like 5,000 to 1,000.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, those are the prices.
No. I disagree.
I looked it up.
I don't know if that is either. 'Cause I don't think we got a lab grown one. And the ring wasn't over $5,000.
It was definitely $600. So
So she came with me because she we were just at at the mall, and then we went to Zales, and she was like, she's like, "Are you want to go to the ring store to check some rings out?" She was like, it's almost time. So we went in there, we started looking at rings, and she picked out a ring. She picked out her ring, and I just said like, "Yo,
got you."
And I was like, do you want like one with the band already? Or because I was like, if you get this particular ring that you really, really want, I can't afford the band right now. I have to.
You said this before you proposed or after?
This is before.
Oh, because she saw it coming then, basically.
So she kind of knew it was coming. She knew the proposal was coming at some point because she picked her ring out. But I was just like, she picked the other ring that she wanted. I was just like, well, I'm letting you know now, I'm not buying you a wedding band. You're not getting one. And she was just like, I'm cool with this one. I like this. And then closer to like the wedding day, she was just like, am I not really getting a wedding band? I was like, absolutely not. And then
You heard what I said.
I wasn't playing no games with you. But then
That's so romantic.
I'm really honest, and so
Yeah.
I went to go get her ring clean like a day or two before the wedding, and then I was like, yo, she saw a wedding band that she liked before, and I was just like, let me get that wedding band, and I bought it for her. So she didn't know until we were exchanging rings, and I was like, I put the wedding band on first, and she was like, and that's when she started hitting her tears during the wedding, and I was just like, yeah,
Got your ass.
yeah.
You act tough,
all that
but
shit.
you're a sweet guy.
I am for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a sweet guy when I'm in a relationship. Not
Outside of that, Savage Keenan.
I live the life.
So how is it? Has your comedy changed at all? Like since you've been with her, like what is it different for you performing now?
I mean, it's definitely a lot of relationship material has come through, of course. So a lot of that, but like, what do you mean, like when it comes to like a woman perspective, like dealing with women on the road or something?
Yeah, like that, or just anything about your comedy career.
Yeah, really the material is like just a lot of like it's starting to become more marriage stuff, more family, getting towards the family stuff, and wanting to have children and stuff like that. And then went on the road, like I just don't trust motherfuckers, man. Like it's like I don't. Like even if somebody wanted, like first I don't want to cheat on my lady. Let's put that out there first. Everybody had to feel like, well, this is why. But it's like, no, I don't want to cheat on my lady. That's number one. That's I respect her and love her. But also too is like I don't trust people also. And it's just like I know how my mind works. If I do something that day within that 5 and 15 minutes being inside that person, it's gonna be worth it. And then as soon as I finish, it's not gonna be worth it. It's not gonna be worth losing everything that I built with this person.
The post-nut clarity?
Yeah, exactly. Post-nut clarity is some real shit for us. Probably for y'all too, but I know for us, it's a real thing. So it's like, I look, I'm like, oh, you got ass. But it's just like, I keep it at, you gotta get a little cakes over there. But it's just like, I keep it at that. It's just like, that's, from a marriage perspective, that's how much my comedy's changed.
I think there's nothing wrong with looking either, like glancing at somebody.
I encourage her to look.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't mind my girl, like, because it's there. Like, if a fat ass is next to me, I ain't about to be like, oh, I don't see nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we see the fat ass.
Will you be mad at your dude for looking at ass?
No, I look at it because it's impossible not to. Like you say, and I'll say it, but he'll try to act like it. I mean, jokingly, I'll be like, damn. And he'll be like, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Where that ass come from?
No. Once you go like, damn, she got ass. I'm like, damn, she do got ass. I'm not playing the whole, where you see that ass at? I spotted the ass probably a mile before you even saw the ass. So.
I think the first time she does it, I'll do that. I'll be like, what?
You just gotta know
butt
where
cheeks.
it's
This is
coming
crazy.
from and just already be looking that way. So then when it walks, you're in
Also,
the
to
deal.
know your partner. My lady's she's secure in herself in that sense. So she knows I'm not gonna. She knows like I adore her and I adore like our friendship more than anything. Yeah. So it's just like she knows I'm not gonna jump out and just for some cakes. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
easier
your
wearing
joke
shades.
about the ring, is that true though? Because you do a joke that you said since you've been wearing the ring, you get a lot more attention. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean for sure. I mean people say the ring is a chick magnet, and it was one of those things like I started to get kind of like especially even grown women just being like, hey, you just seem like you're more. I don't know if it's like when you're single, they're like, all right, you single, you probably just out here trying to just get some ass. But it's like I think some women see when a woman marries you, women know what type of men women marry. So women be like, if he's married, he must have something about him that's a quality that's important. So he's a good guy, but I want that good guy. Mm-hmm. So let me see if I can get this nigga. See if I can get this good guy from her.
There's definitely a competitive nature to it for sure.
People that ever talk about that, women are extremely competitive. They might not say it they don't like to say it on camera, like I'll compete for a man. A lot of women compete for men all the time, 100%.
I didn't experiment like that. I was in Orlando, and he's married, and his wife gave me a fake wedding ring to wear. I wore it out, and women were coming at me hard. And I was like, let me just take it off, see what happens. I took this thing off. Nobody wanted it.
Like it was like black and white.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was like,
wow.
He was literally at
I
the
put
bar.
it back on. They was just like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I thought about being an asshole. I wanted to be an asshole and just do like a fake story, like, yeah, she cheated on me after all these years. I'm out here.
Oh, you would have had a night.
Yeah, I would have.
You would have had a night.
You know what I think it is? It's because you represent like non-commitment as well, right? So like by having your ring, they know that you can only push the relationship a certain amount.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And some women
like,
and they like
it's power
like
for
that.
them in a way.
Yeah, but also too, if you're married and you're sleeping with a single woman, like she has the upper hand too.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So for her, it's like I control your relationship. Yeah. You know, at any point in time, I can ruin this shit.
Yeah. I'm coming to you as a woman type shit.
That's what I can pull this card. First sentence. I'm coming to you as a woman.
Okay.
Bullshit.
You love Keenan?
You saw that shit from you saw the ring from the day one, and you coming to me as a woman. But it's just like, it's women. We get the nerve. We get the knack for being trifling. Y'all are just as bad as us.
Women will 100%. Like even like when you're in like say like you and your boys, y'all just want to go out and have a guys night at a club.
Yeah.
If you're not like with women, they judge you. And then like, why can't 6 faithful guys go to a club and enjoy each other?
Oh, our masculinity gets put into a weird space when we want to just hang out with the homies or just kick it or whatever.
We have to have titties around us.
Listen, I think that women can go to a club, a group of women, just have fun. You guys really, a club, I'm not talking about dinner or a lounge. I'm saying like a club. You're getting you're popping bottles at the club and don't want no bitches at your table. Is that what you're saying? You go with just a group of guys.
Nobody said that.
I haven't
go with six of his boys to the club.
I didn't say, but I'm saying like you're not getting at nobody. It's like weird, but you can do that. You can go there and
Girls
I'll take that to my friends. And it's like.
But I'm saying, guys like me, my husband, my guy, I don't want him going to the club because guys don't go to the club to just kick it with their guy friends. Women do that. Women like to go dance and hang out.
We go to the
I'm
club.
saying go to dinner, go to a lounge, go to a cigar lounge, go whatever.
We can't go to the DR with our homies?
Yeah, just
we can't go to Puerto
celebration
Rico with the homies? Why not?
Absolutely not.
It's like you need some titties
Why
around
you can't trust us?
Because we all know what happens in Puerto Rico.
You won't trust your partner going to the Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic, like with the homie?
I wouldn't trust me going to Puerto Rico. I wouldn't trust me.
So would you trust your lady though?
I would trust my lady to go. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I wouldn't trust me to go. Absolutely not.
I'm not trusting them. Once you cross overseas, the trust is gone. But once you cross over that water,
it just dissolves.
What happens in DR?
She's not on U.S. soil. No,
this nigga forgets his name and shit.
I mean, the nigga would come up with a whole different identity when he gets to different.
Yeah.
I'm a dark-skinned Dominican. Bye. Bing, bing, bing.
Tommy Benzino or something. I don't know. I have a whole different name.
It's the freedom. There's something about being just in a different hemisphere that just, it's the energy. You know what I mean? It's like, it's, you know.
I mean, I think, look, man, I believe in faithful men.
Look at every camera when you say that.
Black men don't cheat.
We don't.
Well,
we don't.
To me, it's being in the environment, right? Like even me now going to a club, yes, I could with girlfriends, but I don't because I don't put myself in situations where things can happen.
To lose.
Right.
Yeah.
So even like when I'm trying to be healthy, I don't go to restaurants because once I'm at a restaurant, I'm ordering all the bullshit.
Right.
I need to stay my ass at home and eat my grilled chicken.
Yeah.
So it's the same. Like when you're around starting to socialize, conversations are gonna happen. Oh, you're gonna hit it off and start talking about something, and that's where it starts.
That's when you have to ask yourself, like, do you want a grilled chicken life or do you want
really live it up?
do you want the life you want?
You have to have trust in your dude to be
chicken.
like, look, man, we had a great conversation. Thank you for that. But get your ass up out of here. You gotta have that faith in your man to do that. You gotta like. I think I think he would. I think.
No. I do.
Yeah.
I trust my guy like that. Like
Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
cool with him doing it once in a while. Like if he's always at the club, then something's weird. But
Because I mean, as
Or
comedians,
you do a joint trip
no, yeah, I mean
Right?
we do those. Yeah.
Well, as
What's
comedians,
the
like
point
my
of
lady,
the girl? What the hell? A joint trip?
where it's like you and your guys, her and her girls.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you guys have, days where everyone's together and then there's
It's
maybe
confusing me. Like, should I be unfaithful or not? Like, you know, what I'm saying? Like, why would I? That's just like a weird type of setup. Like, do I cheat or do I? Like, she's still near me.
if you're
What is wrong with you?
I'm gonna pray for you.
It's like mixed signals though. Like,
Hey,
Start
man.
adding
What are
you
we
in my
doing?
prayers.
Brandon, good
prayer
luck,
list
bro.
every
like, I'm
day.
abroad, but she's here.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like my name is Daniel, but I'm still Brandon. Like, fuck. Should I tell these bitches I'm Daniel? Or will it come back to her? Like, fuck. I don't know what to do.
I mean, that's actually kind of smart though. She'll never know. Be like, no, you said your name. I'm like, what are you talking about? My name is
but
Brandon.
if she's around us, she's like, oh my God, I met this cute guy named Daniel. There he is. You're like, oh
like-
shit, that's my man.
There must be another nigga named Daniel.
Yeah,
that look-
Daniel,
that's tall and black.
it's
They
like
say we
me.
all look like anyway. You know how it is,
It's
man.
just like that's too much of. No, I'd rather
my
not have that
God.
shit.
Okay, wait. Okay, I want to get a couple more questions in because we're running out of time. This is just a quick hit, but what is your marriage advice to millennials?
My marriage advice to millennials. It's hard to say. It's hard to just say communication. But I think, all right, ego check. Check your ego. Because what happens is you don't want to have a conversation about certain things. My lady and I, we have a conversation about everything, whether it's like about what we like about sex, what we can do better in the bedroom, what we can do better around the house, we can do what I like more. Somebody gave me some good advice because I normally when I'm on the road, I ask that question on stage. And some lady was just like, don't love your partner how you want to be loved. Love them how they want to be loved. So it's like learn your partner's, love language, whatever the case may be, and love them like that. You know, I might be trying to love my girl a certain way and she doesn't respond a certain way to me. I'm just like, well, I mean, that's how I would want to be treated. And it's just like, she's like, I might not care for that. Like, I want these things over here. I want, to be hugged instead of gifts. I don't care for you buying me stuff. I want to be held and cuddled and shit like that. And so when that lady told me that, I was like, that's some pretty damn good advice.
That's great advice.
And I think I mean, from what I hear from older couples that have done that, that's their things. It's like, yo, ladies, man, if you do love his dick sucks, just suck his dick, all right? Just get his man's man. That's his love language, all right? I know you cuss on here. It's late, whatever.
We've been talking about
the episode.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, if that's what your guy is into like that, he really loves that. That's something you're gonna have to suck up. No pun intended. You're gonna have to get it done.
You gotta suck it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Take it how you want to take
and then
it.
you might want to be one of those women that like, yo, you might like gifts. So he gonna have to figure out a way to be that type of person for you. So it's like, I think that's the best thing. It goes into communication and listening. To be honest, it's like listen to your partner, what they have to say, what they enjoy, and do that. And I think it'll make things a lot easier. We haven't been married long, but we've been living together for like I think 3 years now. And the pandemic brought us closer. I know a lot of people got divorced during the pandemic, but we literally like, I like you and love you more than I even did before.
That's rare.
And that's when I was like, yeah, this is
Good to hear.
That's the homie. This is gonna be it for real. So
That's dope.
Love that, man.
What about any advice for comedians, up and coming comics? What do you wish you knew back then when you started?
what did I wish I knew? Man.
Like give Brandon some advice.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Because he needs help.
I mean, I feel like Brandon's doing well. I mean, he's getting his social media in order. But I think in general, one of the best things I was ever told by one of my mentors early on, shout out to Ronnie Ray, he's just like, live on stage. He's like, stay your ass on stage, because when you stay on stage consistently, what?
I was telling him this before the
I don't get
show.
on stage enough, and I need to. I finally checked myself. I was like, yeah, I need to.
Bro, like you have to get on stage. One, to find your voice a little bit quicker. But two, it's like it goes back to networking. It's people seeing you. Yeah. One thing that, I met Tony after his first year. So I'm like, Tony's probably a year older than me in comedy age, right? And when I met him, people thought he was like maybe 5-10 years in, because he was a monster pretty quickly. But Tony stayed his ass on stage everywhere. And when he was on stage, he murdered. So his name rang bells through the city very quickly, because he did what he needed to do. And so that's what I learned early on, was just like, go on stage and just, when you get the opportunity, get on stage as much as possible, but murder when you get on that bitch, because you might not get the opportunity to get back on there. When I see comedians go on Chocolate Sundaes not prepared, I'd be upset. Like, I'm just like, yo, any comedian that I know that gets on there, I'm like, yo, I said, you got 3 minutes, murder that motherfucker. Like, don't work out on no shit. Do your best type 3 and murder that bitch. Because if you don't, you won't be back for the next 4 years. It's like, yeah,
we're good.
Because it is like such a long wait list. And me and Ranji always talk to each other like, you waited 3 years for this?
It's just like people forget their material, and it's like you waited all this time, and you get up here and you're not prepared, and it's like, bro, this is the one chance to. You look like an evil ass person. I don't know. He's just this is the one time to really show out, and it's like what the fuck? You just blew your.
And then
chin.
use the other shows, like Brandon. The conversation was he's saying that he needs to stop being too good for certain shows. Shows that might only have 10, 20 people. But I told him, I'm like, do those, and that's where you work on your crowd work and work on your other material.
How long you been doing stand-up for?
This is my 8th. Well, I mean 8th year, but I didn't really do a lot the first 4.
Why is it? I mean, I'm not saying don't have an ego, but why are you being like, I'm too good for this show?
No, not too good. It's just that I told her, I don't know why she said it like that, but when I first started, yeah, she was like,
it made it seem like you just like, I ain't doing this show.
Yeah, what the fuck. Now, when I first started stand up, I was good right away. I was doing good, and I wasn't even getting up a lot, but I was just getting I was doing really good. Yeah. So I felt like I didn't need to actually work that muscle all the time, because people would be doing shit every day, and they hit mics, and I'd still be better than them. So I'd be like, I ain't gotta do that shit. But 'cause I was talented. But then I'm realizing I need to be skilled too, because my talent's gonna fail me if I'm not skilled.
I mean, literally, I think what it is that Kevin Hart says it hard work outworks talent every day of the week.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm better than the show, but if it's small, I'll be I'll just find some type of
It sounds like you got spoiled early. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got spoiled early, and I never had to actually really. What's so funny? All I hear is her nostril hair. That's all I.
He said he got a standing O his first time doing Chocolate Sundaes.
The most horrible. It would okay. So it might have been only 10 people standing, but to me that was 100,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm saying I got that, and I never I was always good, so I kind of got spoiled with that. I never had to really work extra hard to get laughs. So I kind of relaxed, which is my bad for doing that. I wish I started off not so good.
Yeah, I mean, I say do those shows because you're going to learn something from every single show. Even if you're doing those shows that are small with 10, 20 people. Like my show, Bonfire Stories, is purposely meant to only hold 25, 30 people, because it's an intimate storytelling show. It's not meant to be big. So it's like when when you're coming to, I mean, I've learned I've learned a lot of things at big shows for a lot of people, hundreds of people. I've learned for thousands of people. I've learned shows doing in front of 5 people. I'm not gonna not go up. If I'm booked, I'm going up. I want stage time.
Yeah,
that's how I am. It's not about this venue doesn't hold.
That's
too many
why.
people.
That's why I'm saying I need that mindset where it's it don't matter to people. I need to actually just get up.
How much do you really love stand up then? Because I would say that too. It's all right. I'm not meaning the question you like that and on the spot, but it's
I know what you mean.
It's one of those things do you truly love stand up, or you just love what you get from it? Yeah. If you truly love stand up, you just yo, I want to get up. I just need to get up somewhere. I got a new joke I want to work on. If I gotta hit an open mic real quick, let me just work this joke up at this open mic. You're gonna do that, and you're doing it for you to get better. But if you're just yo, man, yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing tonight, man, and and your name's and you're not in at every single club. I mean, I think that's a little wild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're not a regular at every club yet, it's just like there's work to do still.
Yeah, that's how I feel now.
Yeah,
Like, I already
sure.
have stuff lined up that I'm about to do just cause. But yeah.
What are you laughing at?
You calling Brandon out? He's
No,
over here reevaluating.
I know what he
He's
meant,
thinking
but
about all
Lani
the nights
turned this
this-
conversation into like where Keon just
He's thinking about all the
I
nights
feel like this is a
week that-
comedic intervention
Yeah,
that is happening.
I feel like Lani waited for this moment. Like,
Because listen, I do this because Brandon's like a little brother to me, and Brandon is good.
Yeah,
Brandon
he is
is
good.
gonna be
Yeah.
very, very
He's funny.
good.
I've seen Brandon, yes.
No, and he has a unique perspective and
Yeah.
a unique style. But he is like, I think he needs to get on stage more. And
Yeah.
I think you just
They're calling you
confirmed
he was
lazy.
right, but I was already like,
They're calling you a
before this
lazy
happened,
fuck.
what he said, I had it in my head already, but now it's just like he's my dad now. And it's like, hey, you gotta get it together. Do you love it or not? I mean, what do you love?
Do you
What's
want
going
it?
on?
How bad do you want it?
I just feel like,
Do you want it as much as you want to breathe, son?
and I've already told myself this, but Lani makes him reiterate it to me. Like, look,
Well, she made it seem like she was just like, yo, man, hey, man, Brandon out here really.
like, no, Keon deepened his voice.
He called me Keon, man. Goddamn, man. What I do to you, man? Keenan, man.
God damn.
Shit, man.
Keenan deepened his voice. He was just like, look, man, look. If
No,
you
my
want, I mean,
thing
what's going on?
was.
Oh, you gonna
like,
cut you
Like,
off
it was
now, huh?
like,
You
real
really-
military style. I was like, look, man, look. My father told me stay in school for 8 years. And, I'll be real with y'all for a second. I didn't go for 8 years, but look.
No, but
my
it was like
God.
I hope you didn't feel like it was
No,
attack
no,
at all.
like no. Honestly, I knew exactly
I'm
what
just
you meant. It's just
instigating.
that I already
Yeah.
just seeing Lani just. I'm looking at you, but I just. And I was just like, I could have talked to this nigga in private about this shit. But I know what you mean by that because I need to like get out of that and actually like just be
All
like
right,
just
all
love
right,
stand
all
up for
right,
what
okay.
it is, not like the stage or how big something is. Like I'm not above anybody. You know what I'm saying? I should be regulars at all these places because I'm too good not to be.
Yeah, and that's all. I mean, yeah, and like I seen you before. Like I agree with them. You're really funny. So it's
We
it's
did
like
same taping together for Road. Well, was it, yeah, the
Revolt?
same episode.
yeah, we
Revolt
did. Yeah,
too,
we did. Yeah, and it's like I know a lot of funny people, but sometimes it's like when you're not getting. Sometimes too, it's like finding your comedic voice is only going to get honed on the stage.
Yeah.
It's the only
some
way.
people get it faster. Some people get it within 5 years, 3 years, sometimes even a little earlier than that. Some people it takes 10, 15 years to find their actual comedic voice or whatever the case may be. But you can only do that being on stage as much as possible. And I'm a champion for being on stage as much as possible. That's my thing. That's all it is. So yeah, don't think I was.
Nah, I know.
Like she set it up to where like, all right, let me see if I can turn these guys
Yeah,
against
she
each
was like,
other.
yeah, so let's shift the focus.
He was on me about not saying nah for coming for his birthday.
I know, yeah.
Last question.
This is for Brandon here.
Keenan,
My bad, bro. Yeah.
Keenan, how do you want to be remembered?
Damn, man. These are questions that I wasn't prepared for.
We didn't want you to be. We want it to be authentic.
I don't know. Just as a person that just was like, I guess is honest. He was true to himself. Like, I'm not lying to anybody about anything. If I'm giving you quote unquote advice or whatever, it's just like, yo, Keenan was being honest with me, even if like I don't want to be necessarily known as an asshole, but like just be like an honest person that actually cared about people. Like I the older that I've gotten specifically, like now it's like I care a lot more. I've seen a lot of death in the past like 5 years, and it's just like, yo, it's like life is short, and I want people to know like, yo, like if I'm speaking to you and even giving advice, it's just like it means I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? I got love for you. So it's like. I guess it'd be cool to be remembered like this dude. He had love for people. When you leave this earth, I do want people to be like, man, Keenan, man, he was a good dude, man. He always made sure he showed love to people. So it's I guess in that realm, being just remembered. Yeah.
Awesome. I think you'll be remembered like that.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully she's like.
No, I'm
He's
gonna
like-
remember you like that.
We'll make sure we give him a cupcake for chocolate Sundays. But
remember him on his birthday. That's when you should remember him. Yeah. Remember him on that day.
Brandon shooting shots back. Brandon's like, nah, fuck that. You can't for me. Remember on his birthday next year, all right? November 7th. You'll remember
November
to
7th.
bring his ass back up there.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for swinging by, Keenan. We appreciate
It was
you.
a good time.
Thank y'all for having me, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. Like, at the first time I met all y'all were all super cool to me. Met you, met Brandon, met Lani. You guys are all great people. That's what's good. I like good energy.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, man. I appreciate
that.
you, man.
And
Yeah,
where can just to this camera here, where can everybody find you? Social media and whatnot.
Yeah, KeenanBaker.com. You can find me there. It's where I have dates and merch posted. But then also to at Keenan Baker, KEENAN Baker on all social media platforms. If you're into anime, you see the Dragon Ball stuff I got on Anime Shun podcast, and then Brutally Honest podcast with Keon, because he can call me Keon, with my boy Keon and Gary Anderson. Brutally Honest on YouTube. Check all those videos out. It's super dope.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, man.
Thank you. This has
Appreciate
been your episode of the Sunday Scoop. See you next time.
Yeah.